Howdy doody. We're just going to keep pounding videos out today. We're going to do it in our normal darkness, I guess. I should just put a light in over here. Let me do that real quick. Let me not do that real quick, because that looks like it'll hurt. So maybe if we tip that back and we tip this forward, maybe we can do it that way. How about that? What do we have here? We have an $11.92. $11.92 Marquis clone in white. That's what we have here. And I basically have the same build in this Marquis as I have in my fogger. 6 wraps, 28 gauge, coming out at 0.8. Vertical coil. Look at it, Chuck. This is at 20 watts. Watts is 4.1 volts. Now, for $11.92, you get it in this handy dandy box. And we looked at this at the first look video. We'll look at it again. You get your coiling rods. You get another little package in here with the different tops. The taller top is what comes on it. There is no drip tip that comes with it, but you can use that taller one as a drip tip. Okay? You get, if I get it out of the box, an awesome blue screwdriver, which you can drill a hole in and use as an earring, and 2 coils, 2 pre-made coils in there. It won't show up very well. There they are. Some O-rings, and a piece of silica wick. Okay? And that's it. Just this little box. Okay? Now, this is going to be juicy, but and it's getting a little dry, so we're alright. I got the drip tip on here from the sub tank. Boop. Just pops off. Don't over wet your O-rings, people. Just to let you know. Now, if you want to change out that top ring that holds the drip tip in, the piece that holds the drip tip in, I don't know if I can do this or not without a tool. I might need a tool. I might. It's kind of juicy. Kind of juicy. Let's try to use our shirt. Not going to be able to do it. Grab a tool. Grab a tool. Grab a tool. Grab a tool. Everybody likes to grab tools, right? Grab a tool. Sometimes things come apart. Sometimes they don't. Now, let's see here. You only have so many hands full. Let's grab metal only, if we can. And let's see about grabbing this. And we did get it to turn, so maybe we can use our fingers now. It's $11.92. And the machining on it is actually quite good. Now, you take off the insulator. It unscrews from the top piece. And then, if you want, you can grab another top piece. I'm using the flushest one right now instead of the one that sticks up. We're just going to put that right back on. and it just screws down. Fine threads, very fine threads, which is why if you tighten it down like that, it's hard to get back off. And here's the top cap. Nice big style, right? And there's the very top. And you just shove that back in there, and it's damn near flush. It sticks up just a hair, alright? Which allows you to put a drip tip on it, and it looks normal. Excuse me. Everybody got a burp in these videos. Now let's see. We'll get some juice on our fingers. If you listen to Dr. Oz, he says that what I just did there will kill me. Whatever. Idiot. These are wrapped on the biggest ones, which I believe are 3.5 millimeter, which is why my ohms are a little bit higher than they are on my fogger. But the machining on there is quite nice. The M that is stamped in the top of that is actually really sharp. You can really feel it when you rub your finger across it, and she puts out quite nicely. Smell that juice from a mile away. And yes, there are vertical coils in there. I know it's really hard to see today, but there are vertical coils in there. So I got cotton tufts at the top, and I just pushed them down into the bottom of the deck. And your airflow doesn't come from that side. It comes from the opposite side, which means your chamber is actually half as big as what it looks like it is. Alright? You have seen the Marquis. This does not have an adjustable center pin. If you take the screw out of the bottom, it takes out your center pin, basically. I did notice on this clone and a few other clones that I've seen videos for, the original makers, and I don't have a problem with this video because they knew it was going to be cloned. And the 3 original makers, whose name, bleh, I forget. But, yeah, all I remember is John Boy off the top of my head. I'm spastic when it comes to that. I'm not a name guy. I forget names just like that. You tell me your name, I've forgotten it. Unless it's written down somewhere, or I have to say it every day, I forget it. Alright? Dino. See? It'll pop in there eventually. There's one other guy. And I forgot. But anyhow, they knew it was going to be cloned. And so I don't have that much of a problem with it. I do have a problem with it actually has the Marquis logo on it. You know, I don't think clones in my book should be clones. Take this Atlantis 5mm, for example. There's no markings on it. So this is a better clone in my eyes because it has no markings on it. Okay? No markings. This actually has a serial number on the bottom. It's wet. It's wet. It's not leaking. It's just I tend to over drip, and I was fooling with it yesterday and trying to make more airflow come out of it. If I use it so I can play with the center hole on it, the center hole whistles. But it's a clone, and I don't expect to be using the center pin or center hole. So there's that whole thing. And Fastech shipped it out. It took these took 4 weeks to get to me. We'll just throw some pink drink on top of whatever it is I'm vaping in here. Okay. I just drip in the top just like a regular dripper. Like 10 drops in. And it tastes really good. It is a flavor addy. Restricted holes, you know, if you wanted to, you could drill them out, but that's not what this is for. This is for flavor. I mean, but it chucks the clouds just fine. Again, that's ESP juice at 70/30. Beautiful pink drink. Pink lemonade. Gotta love it. And you can change out your drip tips. We'll take, say, the Dark Horse drip tip. It's right here, because I just did a little video for that. And it's stiff. It's stiff in there. Come on. I had it in there earlier, so I know it fits. It's going to take more pressure than I want. It doesn't want to go in. The O-ring on the Dark Horse drip tip is a little fat, so it doesn't want to pass it. But it did earlier, but I ain't going to worry about it right now. Other drip tips do fit in it, as you can tell, because I'm using the one from the sub tank. Fits right in. Here, I got another one sitting here. Call me a fibber. Here's the one for the fogger. Works just fine. Say other drip tips fit in it. It's 4, 5, 10 drip tip. So it doesn't come with a drip tip, so I really can't say other drip tips, right? Works just fine. It's a clone. Now back to the issue of every clone Marquis I've seen does not have the signature positive screw, and that should be a plus to the original makers. The signature original screw isn't just a regular Phillips screw. It has a built-in washer on it to trap your positive wires. Okay, this does not. Every clone I've seen does not have that particular screw in it, so that could be a plus to the original mod makers. Addy makers, mod makers. Do you want to call them mod makers? They're not really mods. It's an addy, whatever. But doesn't have that signature top screw with the washer in it, which would be highly desirable in this, because there's just too much wiggle room in there when you're trapping 2 wires underneath of it to actually do a good job of it. Where their screw that they machined for this addy has that washer and takes up all the space in there and makes it a dream to trap a wire under. Alright? That's a look at the Marquis clone from Fastech. In white. Good job to the original makers. It is a nice addy. It's built really well, even though this isn't the original. I can only imagine that the original is going to be slightly nicer, probably smoothed out on that Marquis logo, and on the big drip tip there, or whatever you want to call it, the pre-drip tip. How about that? It does have an M on it. I don't know if you can see that. It does have the M on that too. Not a fan of that. If you're going to make a clone, keep the logos off. Just, you know, call it paying homage to the originals, but take the logos off. We already know you're selling it as that. We already know what it is. You can take the logos off. Plus, it'll probably cut down on your cost because you don't have to machine that in or laser etch it or anything like that. Just saying. Alright? You all have fun now, because I know I will, knocking juice bottles.